Hola Packers, bonjour, ¿cómo estás? Ni hao, assalamu alaikum, namaste. I hope you are well, ladies and gentlemen. It is for some of you the last day of the school year, although we know that next week you have 3 days to ask for support, to email teachers, to talk about things. But a lot of people are also on top of things in the sense of feeling ready to turn in stuff and start summer. Regardless, I come to you with a heavy heart. There's so much that I wish we could talk about, so much I wish we could do together. Um, and so it just has me in a little bit of a cloudy mood, but um, I'm glad that we're able to work together, and I look forward to seeing you all in some way, shape, or form um, as we move forward. Right. So here we are on the last day. Now, before we go any further, I do think obviously it's important that we mention what's going on in the Twin Cities right now. We had the death of a Minneapolis resident while in police custody, and the ensuing riots over the last few days. Now, certainly, I am not about teaching you what to think, but encouraging you to think. So I just wanted to address that from two levels. Um, First, a famous Dr. King quote that I would imagine you've heard maybe over the last few days, because Dr. King was always committed to nonviolence through his whole life. But at the end of his life, he definitely began to acknowledge that he understood, certainly not agreed with, but understood where violence was coming from across America, because riots like this were unfortunately all too common in the late 1960s. So he would say, this is a famous quote, "I must say tonight that a riot is the language of the unheard." Right? So the people participating in a riot are using the language because they don't feel heard. Right? And it says, what is America? What is it that America has failed to hear? It's failed to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. And it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice and humanity. Now, you're welcome to disagree with Dr. King. You don't have to embrace that quote, but it's one that helps us frame the discussion. And then this is just the opportunity to pause. If you are doing just the do now because you have to get to work or whatever, I'm going to say I'm talking about the Boston Tea Party. Now, if we go back to Unit 2, the Boston Tea Party, which is the answer to your do now, was American patriot colonists who wanted to break away from Britain and were so upset at special treatment that the British company, the East Indian Trading Company, was getting, that it broke onto the ship and destroyed the property of that company that was benefiting from British policy. And the policy was punishing American or colonial policies. Now, one of the fun parts or the interesting parts or the compelling parts about history would be if we were in class, we could talk about the differences, there are many, and the similarities, there are some, between the Boston Tea Party and these riots we've had over the last few days. Again, this is not me saying that riots are good. This is not me telling you what to think about any of this. This is me encouraging you to use history to think about it. So that's just what I wanted to touch base with to give us some context, because a lot of people are hurting. It's hard. Some of you have never been to Minneapolis or never go to Minneapolis, and so it seems far away. But as somebody who lived in Minneapolis for a long time, it definitely feels very real to me. And there's a lot of people that are hurting, frustrated, confused about the whole situation. So we wanted to touch base on that. Now, your final should hopefully seem very familiar. Earlier in the week, you chose a group. Let's say you chose Americans with physical disabilities. And you researched that group and you found out about the Americans with Disabilities Act of the 1990s. And now you have that learning activity. One of four choices, like we've been doing all throughout Unit 8. You're going to write an opening paragraph, or you're going to make some art, or you're going to make digital flashcards or a digital poster. Most people have done a pretty good job, and it's been that same rule. If you're giving me information that junior high students are giving me, Dr. King was nonviolent, period. That Rosa Parks got arrested for riding in a bus, period. If you just stop there, you can't get full credit because, of course, we knew that already. What we're looking for is some depth from that research sheet showing up on your final. I'm more than happy to help. People have been catching up with late work and wondering why am I not getting to it more quickly, right? Understand that I've been trying to get the final, or sorry, the learning activities, all three projects from African American, Latino, Hispanic, Latinx, and then this one, trying to get those squared away before going back and looking at late work, which is frustrating for some of you. And if it's a situation, feel free to reach out to me. Now, I just want to say how much I've really enjoyed working with you in person and digitally. Really, of course, this has helped all of us. This distance learning thing helped us realize what we like, what we don't like about our lives. And I can truly say that working with students every day is something that is really important to me and it really brings me a lot of joy. So I've missed working with you. I know that I can't express everything that I feel in a short video, but I hope my actions, I hope the way that I've treated you shows that I have high hopes, high expectations for the class of 2022. I really think that our school is in good hands. As weird as the next year will be, no doubt, it's in good hands with you as the new leaders, the junior class. I think we have an incredible group of hardworking, respectful leaders, and I've really, truly enjoyed this year. Obviously, this distance learning thing is not what any of us expected, and it has been really challenging. So I want to say thank you for your patience. I want to say thank you for your communication and your hard work. It's really important that we continue to be safe out there, keeping distance, washing hands, wearing your mask, all those sorts of things, because I want you to be healthy this summer and come back in the fall in whatever way it looks like. Look out for each other. Mental health is a huge issue, as we've talked about all year, but in particular with this isolation. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Do reach out and remain friendly. Look forward to hopefully seeing you in the halls as you come as juniors. But regardless, I genuinely care about you. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. I've enjoyed working with you. Reach out if I can help, and thanks. Have a great summer. Claire says goodbye too. Actually, she's totally asleep, but she's here.